Hello there, good morning. Welcome to my morning routine. Here we are, vloggy vlog style. Hello there, good morning. Welcome to my morning routine. Here we are, vloggy vlog style. Time for my ice roller. So, I have this whole thing with a morning routine where I've been asked to do a morning routine vlog. A couple years ago, I was asked to do a podcast. It took me a really long time to do it, and I think the reason for that is I think we have these crazy expectations for morning routines where we want to have them, we should have them. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But we watch people and we see their morning routine and then we attempt it and maybe it doesn't work with our lifestyle. And then we feel really defeated and then we're like, ooh, F the morning routine. And I felt like that for a really, really long time. And so I've always been a little hesitant to do a morning routine video because I don't want anyone to be like, oh my gosh, if I don't do it that way, it's not even worth it. That's totally not what it's about. So last year I recorded a podcast episode, we'll link it below, all about my morning routine. Now I thought I would show you a little behind the scenes. I've been working on my mindset around a morning routine for a really long time. When I first started as an entrepreneur, I used to think that I had to wake up at 5 a.m. and that I had to meditate for like an hour, and I always had to make sure that I was journaling, and then I also always wanted to move my body, but also felt like I had to exercise, and then needed to, make breakfast, had a kid. It was like a whole thing. So I really struggled with what that looked like for me, and it's changed so much over the years, so much. And I was thinking in the shower, I feel like I've just taken like really small movements to kind of like my perfect morning routine, which is what I feel like I have today. And so, I want to show you what that looks like, but I was constantly just like making changes and adjusting what I was doing and fitting things in as I felt like my body and my mind was craving more. And then eventually, because I have my own business and I've started my own business, I've grown my own business, my husband is now home, you know, I have more time in the morning. And so we eventually got to this point where it was like, okay, well, now I can have an hour and a half to 2 hours every morning to, you know, focus on taking care of myself. So there's my disclaimer. I typically get up around 7 and my family's not up yet. Yes, I know, I'm blessed. Real quick, I love this stuff right here, okay? Oh, none of this is sponsored, but you know, I know it's gonna come up and people are gonna ask me what the hell I'm using, so. And this one, I feel like I'm trying face stuff all the time. This brand, Indie Lee, I've been using them for years. I absolutely love, especially their eye cream. Go read that brand story, by the way, so good. Her whole story is just so good. This is the new one I'm trying. I got it at Target, right? Target. I like it. It's working really, really well for my face. So, you know, there's that. So I get up around 7 and I put my workout clothes on right away, as you saw. I literally pee and my workout clothes go on. I don't give myself time to talk myself out of it. This is something I really struggle with for a really long time. I would try and talk myself out of working out, like you don't need it. But for me, movement and is just such a mindset practice, and it just, my body is just so important to me. And I've tested this time and time again. If I don't move my body first thing in the morning, it's not gonna happen. And if I don't move my body first thing in the morning, then I also feel pretty crappy the rest of the day. So this is like a top priority for me. I'd say the one thing that I've tried to consistently do, even when I only had, 20 minutes, in the morning or whatever, I would always try and do some sort of movement. So I move my body first thing in the morning. Cal typically wakes up during that process, as you saw, and kind of hangs out with me. Again, we've been doing this for a while. And when I started my business, he was a baby, so he was kind of always there with the morning routine. So we've definitely set, it's not perfect by any means, but we've definitely set it up where, like, if I'm working out, this is all part of mommy's morning routine. Try not to interrupt her. Again, not perfect. Today went okay. But, give or take when you have kids. I usually take care, get him breakfast, Ben's getting up around that time. Today was Friday, so it's plant watering day, so I take care of my other babies. I love them so much. They bring me so much joy. How cute are they? And then I hop in the shower. So now my dog is in my closet snoring because she likes to hang out with me because I walk her in the morning. And now I'm gonna get ready. So here we are, okay? So I typically just kind of fluff up my hair and put on clothes. You can't see them right now. I'll show you later. But I have pants on, that button. This is a whole mindset thing for me. My clients know about it. I feel like everyone who follows me knows about it. I'm a firm believer in putting on actual pants with a button because it makes you feel like you're like ready for the day. It's a productivity thing. And then I will typically put a little bit of makeup on. I'm usually filming or doing a video, or I have meetings. I very, very rarely wear makeup on the weekends, and I don't wear a lot. Like, I don't do like a whole thing, as you will see. It takes me like 5 minutes to do. But I'll put just like a little bit of makeup on and do that whole thing. So what I have noticed in doing my morning routine consistently is obviously habit building, which I love to talk about at Brandmerry. I really started focusing on my habits in 2019 into 2020. I had noticed, again, like I kind of already mentioned, I constantly wanted to talk myself out of taking care of myself in the morning. And then I'd feel really crummy, and then I would be like mad at myself for not taking care of myself in the morning. And it was just a cycle. And I found Atomic Habits, which is one of my favorite books of all time. Highly recommend it for any human being in the entire world. And that really changed the way that I looked at habit building, in that I had always been really into goal setting, but I wasn't taking the daily actions to get there. I'd like cram it all in at the last minute, And the way that James Clear positioned Atomic Habits in the book, and how it was a 1%, every single day, and the consistency really kind of just was what I needed to hear. And I started implementing much more consistency in my life. One of them being my morning routine, because I just am such a firm believer in how you start your day is how you're gonna carry, the energy you're gonna carry throughout the day, and how you're ultimately gonna end your day. And when you're running your business from home or you're working from home, there's a lot that can come up. There's a lot of distractions. It's all very unexpected. You can have a plan and sometimes it can go out the window. When you add, children into the mix, it's completely different. And my son is home, which of course has its amazing pros, but then there's also that opportunity for more distraction, as I think so many parents saw in 2020 and are still kind of seeing today. I have just found that when I kick off my morning focusing on myself and taking the time to start my day and get in alignment, as I like to say, it makes such a big freaking difference in what I do throughout the day. Not only am I happier, which is so important, but also I'm more productive. And as someone who runs her own business, that's important to me. I think productivity, there's all these tips and tricks and all the things that you can do. I love sharing them. I'm one of those people that does that. But I really think at the bare minimum, just having a morning routine will get you started on the right foot. So whatever that looks like for you. So I just really try to honor this. I even do it on the weekends. It looks a little different on the weekends because I don't want to wake up in the morning that early, but I still move my body, and that's a top priority. So what I would encourage you to do, if you're open to my encouragement while you watch this vlog, is identify 3 things that are like a top priority for you every single morning. That's what I did, and that way I was always honoring those, even when I only had 30 minutes, when I had an hour, when I now have 2 hours. Like, what are those top priorities? And then you can always add to it and expand as you go. And then you'll just feel really good because you're always honoring those 3 things that are the most important to you. So for me, it's always been movement. As I mentioned before, movement is just such a huge part. And then another one for me is getting ready. I need to get ready. If I don't get ready, I don't feel ready, right? I don't feel like I can take on the day. I don't feel like I can, take anything that might come my way. I'm looking for my freaking pencil. So getting ready, this part of that process, it just makes me feel really, really good. I know when I first started, I didn't do this, and I could just tell a difference. Like, I was much more likely to just lay down in my bed in the middle of the day. Not that there's anything wrong with a nap. Look at this difference. It's just incredible. Not that there's anything wrong with a nap, but it was so much easier when I wasn't just ready for the day. When I'm just in my clothes, doing my thing, it just makes such a big difference. So getting dressed is a big one for me. The other thing that I've noticed for any of my work from home peeps is that if you get ready for work, right? Whatever that looks like for you, then one thing that I've been doing, because I don't have a commute, it's a very, very easy walk from the office to the bedroom, I change my clothes again. So it's kind of like a mindset thing where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to start my day. I'm ready to be, in work mode. And then I change my clothes when I'm done before dinner. And that has just helped a ton with just being it's kind of like supporting my mindset switch. So that's a big one for me, getting dressed, movement, obviously, and then nourishing my body. So my breakfast is key. I make a smoothie pretty much every morning, except for the weekends. I'll show you that and share a little bit more of that. But at this point in the day, all I've had is water. And clearly, based on my vocal cords, I need more. So we're finishing this up, and I'll do what I like to call phase 3. I know it surprises no one that I think about my morning in phases. Phase 1 is kind of my quiet movement time. Phase 2 is this, getting ready. Phase 3, take the dog. Okay, as many of you know, I'm obsessed with my smoothie. So that's what we're gonna do now. I make my smoothie and Cal's smoothie in the morning. This kid's been drinking smoothies since day 1. So I try and do this, and then I'll go in the office to get started, and that pretty much wraps up my morning routine. And now I'm obsessed with Nespresso. So I got this machine for Christmas. Let's see if I can finagle this view. I got that machine. I don't know if you saw that. So now I drink coffee. I didn't for a really long time, but every time we were in Europe, I would drink it and I realized, okay, I kind of like it. So smoothie first, office, check emails, and then Nespresso. One thing that I will add, and my son is legit crawling under the camera right now, is that at this point in the day, I have not looked at my email. I have not looked at social media. So this is something that I've always wanted to do, and I started doing it at the end of last year, and it's made a huge difference in my mindset. It is incredible. So this is kind of what I was saying, like look for little opportunities where you can just add little things in one at a time into your morning routine. Like that doesn't take any time out of your morning routine schedule, but don't look at, I check my phone to see if I've got any messages from, family or anything, because I actually sleep with my phone in the other room. And then, so I look at that in the morning, but I don't check Gmail, I don't check social media, I don't even check my task manager, which is crazy, not yet anyways. So that's like something that you can do that doesn't take any time. And then we also talked about those 3 main things. So I'm on my last main thing, and then I'm gonna head into the office. There we go. Now I'm heading into my office. I'm gonna be doing an office vlog to show you my little sacred space that I now share with my little dude, who is typically sitting in my chair and I have to kick him out. So there you go. I hope that this video inspired you to just start making really small movements to your ideal morning. It's taken me a long time to get here, but this is my sacred time, no joke. And I know what I do in the morning really sets me up for success, not only in my business, as a mother, and as a wife, and in life. And it just feels dang good. So whether you've got 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, pick your 3 main things and honor those. All right, I'll see you next week in a new video. Bye.